All right. Well, good Monday evening. It is Monday, May the 16th, 2022. Hope everybody is doing well. I believe I have audio this time. I remember the last time I did one of these live streams, I started talking for about almost 5 minutes before I realized that my audio was muted. So if you have any trouble hearing me right now, definitely let me know in the comments so I can correct that well before the 5 minute mark. But anyway, I hope everybody is having a great time tonight, a great day. Hope you've had a good start to the week. Of course, we were expecting the Criterion Collection to announce their August, almost said May, their August 2022 titles. So was very happy to see on my Twitter feed those titles get announced. And I am very much looking forward to talking about that tonight and really hearing your thoughts, getting your reactions, because I'll be honest, this is one of those months where I look at the titles that have been announced and I'm intrigued, but I must confess I have not seen any of these titles. I have not seen any of these films, which is not a bad thing when it comes to Criterion, because for those of you who have watched this channel for a while, you know that I love blind buys. I trust Criterion, completely for the most part, and I've been so amazed at so many of the titles that I just dived in and just discovered a new director or discovered a new film I had never heard of before or didn't even know existed, and am usually just amazed by what they put out every single month. So this is going to be one of those months. This is a month of 100% discovery. So I am very much looking forward to hearing what you guys think, especially if you've seen any of these films. So if you've seen these titles, if there are certain titles that are on this month's slate for August for Criterion that you look at and you say, you know what, that is a must own. You definitely got to see that film. Let us know that in the comments section, because I'm learning right along with everybody else. So we got a few people coming in here. Hope everybody again is having a great start to the week. I am very happy about tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow's Blues Day Tuesday, and this is I think, a really nice week of releases. And I love it when Amazon kind of surprises me with an early delivery. I just got back from dropping my son off at the gym. He wanted to work out for a little, for a few minutes. And so I got back to do this live stream, and on my doorstep had a nice little delivery from the wonderful folks at Amazon for this title here that's coming out tomorrow. So it's The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. This is, of course, from Paramount Presents. This is a film from 1962, and I am very excited to have this in the collection. So I plan to do a review of this title on this channel, so definitely look forward to that later this week. Of course, this will probably be going in the player tonight because I really am looking forward to seeing this title. And let me know in the comments section what you think about this film. I heard it got a very solid review from Blu-ray.com, so I'm really excited about this. Of course, this is 4K Ultra HD. Not sure if this is coming through on the camera very well, but yeah, got some nice special features. Of course, what makes me excited about this title is Jimmy Stewart. I absolutely love pretty much every role that he's played in, so I'm really excited about this title. So this is going to be great. Looking forward to picking up Licorice Pizza tomorrow. And I am very excited about that Paul Thomas Anderson film. I have not seen it yet. So let me know what you think of that film in the comment section. And then I'm also looking forward to getting a delivery from Best Buy tomorrow. Hopefully, it'll be a timely delivery. I checked the app today and it said it'll be delivered tomorrow. So I'm going to hold them to that. But this is the 4K Steelbook for this title here, this Blu ray, Hell or High Water. So I recently did a video on this channel talking about, to upgrade or not upgrade and which titles I consider upgrading in my collection. And this is a title that I was not considering upgrading until I actually watched it. And I absolutely love this film. So this is Hell or High Water. It's a neo-Western. It gives you that No Country for Old Men vibe. And it's just a solid, solid film in that genre that stands on its own. So I'm very much looking forward to getting that Lionsgate Steelbook tomorrow. Let me know if you're getting that as well. So looking forward to that. And of course, later this week, definitely be on the lookout because I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on what I believe could be the best release of the year so far. So I'll just go ahead and say it. This release, this Alfred Hitchcock Classics Collection Volume 2, my goodness, I came into this with very high expectations of the video quality and the quality of this release based on Volume 1 that had Psycho, Vertigo, Rear Window, and the Birds. Amazing set. So I came into this with very high expectations, and I am very happy to say that those expectations have been met and they've been exceeded by this amazing release from Universal. I mean, these films are fantastic and they look so good. I cannot even tell you. So more to come in my review. I'm very happy with this release. Let me know if you've been enjoying these films from Hitchcock. So that's a little bit of other items, but you came here to talk about the Criterion Collection titles, and we're about to get into that. But let me get to some comments here, and then we're going to go to the Criterion Collection site. I believe we have about 8 people on here. We have internet user evening. Good evening to you. We have Huck. Hey, Huck. Hey, James. You sound great. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to it's good when the audio is working, man, when I don't have it on mute. So glad for that. Hope you're doing well, Huck. See, and by the way, thanks. I was glad to see that you picked up Rebecca, Huck, that DVD. I definitely hope you enjoy that movie. It's one of my favorites from Hitchcock. And in Caveman Movies and More can hear you fine. Great. Good to hear that. Norma Jean's in the house. Can't wait for Buck and the Preacher. Yes, me too. I'm very excited about that one. That's one of the ones I'm most excited about for this month. Hey, Huck, how are you feeling? Yep. Let's see here. I've only heard of Daddy Longlegs. Everything else is new to me. I'm pretty much in the same boat. I've heard of Buck and the Preacher, but I think all the other titles are first time, first time that I've heard of these titles. So I'm looking forward to it. Panther. I feel bad that I haven't heard of any of these movies. Don't feel bad. I'm in the same boat. I'm right there with you. Okay, so do not feel bad. The covers, and that's one of the great things about Criterion. And one of the things I've learned over the years is whenever I get those announcements and I hear these titles, in the past I would look at these films and I would think, well, I never heard of that one. I never heard of that one. What is this? What is this? And but then I would actually take the plunge and watch some of these titles, and I have continually been surprised and amazed and wowed at just discovering new directors, films from different areas of the world. It's just a great avenue for discovery. So I'm happy about it. The covers all look great. Very glad about that. Yep, I would agree. Huck saying hey to Caveman Movies and More back to normal. Glad to hear that, Huck. Oh, speaking Hitchcock, I knew you would like this. I finally started watching my Hitchcock collection. 3 movies in so far, and loving it. Better late than never, right? Oh yeah, absolutely. Hitchcock, great filmography. Enjoy binge watching from the master of suspense. Culture Trini, I've seen Buck and the Preacher, and yes, it's definitely worth a pickup. Great movie. Okay, good to know. Love Jimmy Stewart, and my only A in English class was from a book report. The A was for the life size poster. Okay. And caveman movies and more. I drew the picture in black and white pencil. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So, yeah, thank you to everybody who is currently in the stream. Very excited about these August titles. Of course, following up on what is an epic month. I mean, July last month, a month ago, we got a just an earth-shattering announcement. Four new 4K titles, and now we have the August titles. And I'll just say right off the top that we're getting 5 new titles in the collection. So all of these films are new to the collection. So they're new titles, and they're also brand new films in the Criterion Collection. And they're coming in as spine numbers 1137 to 1141. So there's no new 4K titles this month. So I was slightly disappointed in that, because that's one of the things I've been looking for each month, is to hear about more 4K releases from Criterion. So we're not getting any 4K releases, but we're getting Blu-ray releases this month, but they're all new titles. So very excited about that. And we're also getting directorial debuts for 3 new directors in the collection. So we're getting 3 new directors in the collection, and all of these are their first director outings. So very excited about that. We're getting films from the United States, France, and Ethiopia, and we're getting 5 titles. So 2 titles will be released on August the 16th. We're getting 2 titles on August the 23rd, and then we're getting 1 title on August the 30th. So without any further ado, we will go to the Criterion site right now. I'll do a screen share, and we're going to check out the Criterion Collection site. And we're going to see what Criterion has in store for us. So we are on the site, and we are looking at exactly what we want to see. August titles announced. That is great. So pre-order now. Opportunity awaits. Of course, as I said many times before, of course, this is the wonderful Barbara Stanwyck. She stars in the amazing film from the 1940s, 1944, Double Indemnity, that is getting a 4K release from the Criterion Collection at the end of this month. So 2 weeks from tomorrow. This is, for me, the title that I am most looking forward to so far this year. So we shall see what the rest of the year comes with, but I am really excited about Double Indemnity, starring Barbara Stanwyck, Fred McMurray, and Edgar G. Robinson. So we have here the titles here for August. So the first title here is Daddy Longlegs, Frownland, Hotel du Nord, or Hotel in the North, Buck and the Preacher, and Fayaday. So like I said before, Buck and the Preacher is the only title that I have heard of personally. So let's go ahead and start off with the very first 2 titles coming out on August the 16th. So this is a very interesting title here. This is Daddy Longlegs. So this is a film from 2009, and it's from the brothers Josh Safdie and Benny Safdie. So as you may know, these brothers are the directors of the Adam Sandler film Uncut Gems, which got an incredible 4K Ultra HD release last year from Criterion that I have a review on this channel. Definitely check it out. If you have not picked up Uncut Gems, I highly recommend it. It is an intense film. It may not be for everybody, because it is a very intense film, and you're seeing Adam Sandler like you've probably never seen him before. I mean, he is in a different type of a role, and he delivers in one of his best, if not his best, acting performance. Now, this is a film I've never heard of from the Safdie brothers, called Daddy Longlegs from 2009. And it's basically, from what I understand, it's about a father raising his sons, and just the challenges of raising his kids. It says, mining the emotional sense memories of their own fractured childhoods, Josh and Benny Safdie craft a by turns empathetic and disquieting portrait of parental dysfunction poised between fierce love and terrifying irresponsibility. So you have a manic Manhattan movie theater projectionist, Lenny, is perhaps the last person who should be raising kids. Yet here he is trying and failing to keep it together as his life unravels over the 2 whirlwind weeks that he has custody of his young boys. So it's basically a story about a father raising his young boys. I guess it's Josh and Benny Safdie sort of channeling some experiences from their childhood and sort of loosely pulling from that to present this film here from 2009. So I think if you're a fan of the Safdie brothers, I definitely am a big fan of their work on Uncut Gems. So this is one that I might consider picking up. I will tell you though that for me, this is one that's probably going to wait for the November Barnes and Noble sale. But let me know in the comments if you've seen Daddy Longlegs. Now let's take a quick look at the features that is being offered here. You will note though, for those of you who are on the DVD format, with this label, please note that they're only offering a Blu-ray. So this is only coming in Blu-ray based on what we're looking at on the Criterion site right now. So just keep that in mind. And as far as the features here, we're getting a new 4K digital transfer approved by the Safdie brothers, which I always like to see that. And you're also getting some uncompressed stereo audio here. So that sounds pretty good. So a new 4K digital transfer. I'm always interested in knowing what is the difference between a 4K digital transfer and a 4K digital restoration. It seems like the 4K digital restoration implies a little bit more work that they're putting into it, but let us know if you have any expertise in that and can kind of comment on that. We have some interviews from the actors. We have a documentary from 2017 about the Safdies, so that should be interesting. And some footage here from the first meeting with actor Ronald Bronstein. So that's really interesting. Then you have a making of program. So this is interesting because I believe Ronald Bronstein is also the director of another film that is being released this month. But this is Daddy Longlegs from the Safdie brothers. And this is coming in at spine number 1138 in the Criterion Collection. Blu-ray only. And currently it's listed on the Criterion site for $27.96 if you want to pre-order directly from Criterion. So yeah, that is Daddy Longlegs. So let's go over here. If you're excited about Daddy Longlegs, let us know in the comments. This will be a blind buy for me. Like I said, I'm very much leaning toward waiting for the November sale for that one. But let us know in the comments if you think that this is a absolute day one purchase for you. So that's Daddy Longlegs. We will now proceed to the second title coming out on August the 16th. And this is from Ronald Bronstein, so who plays in Daddy Longlegs. This is his directorial, I believe, his directorial debut. So this is a nightmarish transmission. It looks like a nightmare based on this cover. Look at this Frankensteinian looking cover. Look at that. That is a pretty cool cover, if I must say. So I'm not sure what to think about it, but it definitely grabs your eye. It grabs your eye. So it says a nightmarish transmission from the grungiest depths of the New York indie underground. The visceral, darkly funny, and totally sui generis debut feature from Ronald Bronstein is a dread-inducing vision of misfit alienation at its unhinged extreme. In a maniacal performance of almost frightening commitment, Dora Mann plays Keith, a disturbingly maladjusted social outcast and self-described troll, whose neuroses plunge him into an unstoppable spiral of self-obliteration as his crummy coupon selling job, pitiful living situation featuring roommate from hipster Brooklyn hell, and last remaining human relationships disintegrate around him. So this looks like a pretty interesting film. Again, this is one that doesn't really grab me as one that I feel like I need to pick up on day one when it comes out in August, but it's definitely one that I'm going to keep on the radar for the November Barnes Noble sale. But let us know in the comments what you think about this title. This one also, please note that this one also is coming in at Blu-ray only. Okay, so there's not a DVD option for this title. So just to be aware of that. And then in the special features, we're getting a 2K digital transfer supervised by Bronstein and an uncompressed monaural soundtrack, getting an introduction from Bronstein, getting a conversation with him and filmmaker Josh Safdie. So there's a connection there between Bronstein and the Safdie brothers that will be interesting to explore. If you pick up these two films, it seems like this title, Frownland, and the other title, Daddy Longlegs, might make for a good double feature to pick up. And that's probably how I'm going to look at it in terms of picking up both of those titles in November. And I think it'll be, an opportunity to learn more about the Safdie brothers and Bronstein and their workings together. So I think that'll make for a great double feature. Got some deleted scenes and an essay in here. I did watch this video clip from the film that is really interesting. It
What do you mean you
shows
can't? Could you clarify that, please?
and
You're not capable of sitting down and having a reasonable discussion for 5 minutes about something?
No, that's not what I tried.
yeah, so he's pretty maniacal. He's pretty like out of control. And I watched that video clip and I was like, that's interesting. So yeah, so that's Frownland. So those are the first two titles coming out in the month of August. So let me pop out of here and let me cover some more of these comments and let's see how we're doing out here. See how people are doing. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay. Yeah. Magnitude. I'm shocked how I'm someone who pays close attention to modern film releases, and the fact how I've never heard of both Fayaday and Iamofe shocks me. Well, I'll tell you what, to be honest with you, um, it really shouldn't shock you because, I was on another person's channel and we were talking, Nathan Jones, and we were talking about, how many movies there are out there. And I went on Google and there's something like half a million or more. And when you really think about that for just a second, just stop and think about the fact that there are over half a million films, full feature films, shorts, documentaries, what have you, pieces of some type of movie or motion picture. When you have that many films out there in the world that have been produced, it's very likely that there are a lot of great films that you've never heard of and that you will never hear of in your life and never see. And that's just a reality. So we just have to enjoy what we can. And the good thing is there's plenty out there to enjoy. So this month has some nice discoveries for us. So Ganesh Gaman, hello, I discovered your channel pretty recently and I love it. Oh, great. Glad to hear that. It's really so great to hear you talk about your passion. Yes, this is a passion, for myself and for a lot of people, who are out there. And I'm glad that you enjoy movies. I love movies and just love talking about it and just sharing thoughts of people about it. So I'm glad you enjoy it. I do plan on checking out any of the titles if they ever happen to appear on the Criterion channel, but I don't plan on blind buying anything. Yeah, certainly understand that. Magnitude 100. Hi, James. I excited to check out some titles coming to Criterion. Haven't heard of any of them before, but I always love discovering new films. I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. Santa needs to know what 4Ks are coming. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I was disappointed. I was disappointed. I won't lie. I was very disappointed that we did not get any more 4K titles for August. So, but following up from the four new 4Ks presented announced in July, you know, I feel I was not surprised that August didn't reach the heights of July, but I was disappointed that we did not hear about any more 4K titles. But I do expect to hear about some more in the future months. Never seen Daddy Longlegs, but I do find it curious how within 1 year the Safdie brothers have had two Criterion releases. It makes me wonder if Good Time gets a release in the future. Okay, perhaps. You never know. I've seen all the Safdie brothers movies, but not Daddy Longlegs. I do wish it can come back to the Criterion channel very soon before I pick up the Blu-ray. Okay, awesome. Daddy Longlegs. Let's see. Ganesh saw that movie last Sunday. Freaking amazing. Crazy to see how their first movie is well done and how uh, we find the essence of their cinema here. Yes. Okay. I think that was Siri or someone that just popped in. Okay. No, I'm good, Siri. Thanks. Caveman movies and more. What was the Adam Sandler movie you were talking about? Oh, Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems. That was a release from Criterion on 4K Ultra HD that came out last year. That if you have not picked up, highly recommended. Really, really good film with Sandler. Fayaday, I knew was coming since it's a Janus Films release. August seemed like the right time to release it on physical media. Yeah, that's one of the two titles I'm most excited about this month. I'm really looking forward to checking that out based on what I've seen on that title. Yeah, the covers this month are all attention grabbing, all of them. I agree. Whoever did these covers need raises. No argument there. Need raises because they are good or not. And on the site, it says Frownland is on the streaming channel. Okay. That's good to know. That's a good way of checking it out, right? To see, is it something you might want to get on physical? Frownland looks punk as heck, looks good. Ron Bronstein is the writer of Uncut Gems along. Oh, okay. See, these are the connections that I'm looking for. See, this is the kind of additional insight I need. Yes. Okay, that's good. I did not know that. So he's the writer of Uncut Gems with the Safdie brothers. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. One of the Safdie brothers did the cover art for Frownland. Huh. Okay. And then what is the Criterion channel? So then here, sad that Robert Wise hasn't been represented in Criterion yet. Well, perhaps it's only a matter of time. We shall see. Let us know what your favorite Robert Wise movie is and which, if they were to release a Robert Wise film, which one would you like it to be? Donnie, let us know. The Criterion channel is Criterion streaming service. Not all of their films are on there, but a large chunk of them are, including streaming other great films and not yet in the collection. Love it. Okay. There's another Adam Sandler movie on Netflix just this past Friday. Looks serious. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Let's see here. Donnie, The Day the Earth Stood Still, 1951. Okay. So you would like to see them put out The Day the Earth Stood Still. Okay. That might be an interesting one. I think I might have seen that movie. It's been a long time though, but that would probably be a cool one to put out. Then Huck, Day the Earth Stood Still gets my vote for a Robert Wise film that needs to get a Criterion release. All right. Who knows? Maybe they'll, hear this stream and who knows what'll happen, That would be awesome. All right. We have been through two titles so far. So we've covered August the 16th. We got 3 more to go. So let's go back over here to the Criterion site. I'm going to share my screen again. And we're going to go back and take a look at the titles that are coming out. On August the 23rd. So we've got Daddy Longlegs and Frownland coming out August the 16th. I think those are going to be very fascinating ones the more I think about it, because I'm really looking forward to learning. When I saw the Uncut Gems release, I was just blown away. At first I was blown away because I didn't particularly care for the film. It came on a little strong for me. But then when I watched it the second time, it really began to turn me around, to it. And I've got to the point where I really, really appreciate that film and really like what the Safdie brothers did with it. And it made me get even more interested in seeing other films from them. So I may be picking up Daddy Longlegs along with Bronstein's Frownland in November. All right, so let's go to August the 23rd. We got 2 titles. The first is this title here coming out August the 23rd. It is from Marcel Carney and is Hotel du Nord or Hotel in the North, which kind of gives me sort of Game of Thrones vibes. I know it has absolutely nothing to do with Game of Thrones, but when I think of King of the North, this is a hotel in the North. So I sort of thought about that. But this is a film from 1938 from Marcel Carney. Now, Marcel Carney already has a title in the Criterion Collection, or a couple of titles in the Criterion Collection. including this one here, Children of Paradise, which is a title I do not have. And then there's another one of these called Les Jours se lèvent by Marcel Carney. So I do not have either of those. And then also Port of Shadows on DVD and Les Visiteurs du Sur. So these are all titles I do not have at all. So I have never seen a film from this director. These are films in the Criterion Collection that I don't currently have. So this is going to be an opportunity for me to sort of dive into a new director that I don't know anything about, learn a little bit more about their filmography. So I'm looking forward to that. So, but yeah, this is a director who is not new to the Criterion Collection. Let me know if you have any of these titles and any other films from this director that are favorites of yours, and if you recommend that we check out this director's work. So this is Hotel du Nord. This is from 1938, black and white film. And it says here, anguished young lovers, fallen women, wanted criminals, and all manner of social cast-offs. These are the disreputable denizens of the Hotel du Nord, an atmospherically seedy boarding house on the bustling banks of the Canal Saint-Martin in Paris, whose lives collide in Marcel Carné's bittersweet rhapsody of romance, betrayal, revelry, and violence, featuring evocative production design by the famed Alexander Tronier and a colorful ensemble cast of some of classical French cinema's most illustrious stars, including Annabella Louis Jouvet and a divinely dissolute Arletty in one of her most iconic roles. Poetic realist Jules Hotel du Nord is a sublime exemplar of Carné's celebrated poetic realism, imbuing working class lives and dramas with a touching nobility. Okay. Yeah, this is a film I must confess I know really nothing about. It will be a blind buy for me. This is one that I definitely, this is sort of, this one falls in the category of the title that's I'm third most excited about of these five releases. So this is one I'm definitely planning to pick up. It's just a matter of will I go ahead and take the plunge and pick it up when it comes out in August, or will I just wait for November? Probably going to wait for November for this one. But this is one I'm very much looking forward to. It's another French film in my collection, a new director that I'm looking forward to learning more about. And quite frankly, as I read the description here, I'm very intrigued by the premise of this film. So when you go down here to the special features in a section, please note that this title is coming in at spy number 1139. And unlike the first two titles, we do have a DVD option here. So Criterion is offering a DVD option in addition to the Blu-ray option. So that's definitely something to take note of. If you are buying DVD, you have that option available for you here. And then we have a new 2K digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack on the Blu-ray. We have, okay, now my other television's talking to me. Okay. New conversation between filmmaker Jean-Pierre Jeunet, Amélie, and journalist Philippe Morrison. We have a television program from 1972 on the making of the film, a documentary from 94. So a couple of interesting special features there that I think are going to be worth diving into. So this is a title that I'm actually very much looking forward to checking out. It's just a matter of, will it be will it be 3 months from now or will it be 6 months from now? So we shall see. But let us know in the comments if you've seen Hotel du Nord, and if so, what you think about this title. So this brings us to the title that I personally am most excited about for the month of August of all these titles. And it is this film from 1972. This is one of the directors in their directorial debut. This is a Sidney Poitier directed film. This was his first film that he directed. He would go on to direct, I think, another 8 films. But this is the first film he directed. And it's from 1972, and it's called Buck and the Preacher. It stars him and Harry Belafonte. And we also have famous actress Ruby Dee in this film as well. So I have not seen Buck and the Preacher. I've certainly heard of it. And this is going to be a great opportunity to see this film. So it is going to be offered on Blu-ray only. So not a DVD option. The only thing, I really wish that would have set this apart for me for this month I really wish that this was a 4K option. This would have been super cool if this was being offered in 4K. But apparently it is not. But who knows what can happen, right? But as of right now, it's not being offered in 4K. It's a Blu-ray option. So this is from Sidney Poitier. Of course, he is famous actor who we recently lost earlier this year. He was over the age of 90. Of course, I've had this edition from Criterion in my collection for some time, In the Heat of the Night, which is an amazing film, and I'm very happy to have it. And I recently picked up this Kino Lorber version of it in 4K Ultra HD. And this is one of those cases, do you upgrade or not upgrade? I chose to upgrade in this case because we're getting an additional commentary on here, but we're also getting two more films that are part of this In the Heat of the Night trilogy. So we're getting They Call Me Mr. Tibbs, the 1970s sequel to In the Heat of the Night, and then The Organization, the 1971 finale to the Poitier Tibbs trilogy. So that's the reason why I picked this up. So between these two, I feel like I really have a nice complete, because there are some features that are on here that are not on here and vice versa. So with these two together, I feel like I have a complete In the Heat of the Night set here. So very excited about that. I haven't checked this out on 4K yet. Haven't watched it yet, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. I've heard good things about it. But this is Sidney Poitier and Buck and the Preacher, and it says here, with his rousingly entertaining directorial debut, Sidney Poitier helped rewrite the history of the Western, bringing Black heroes to a genre in which they had always been sorely underrepresented. Combining boisterous buddy comedy with blistering Black Power era political fury, Poitier and a marvelously mischievous Harry Belafonte star as a tough and taciturn wagon master and an unscrupulous pistol-packing preacher who join forces in order to take on the white bounty hunters threatening a westward-bound caravan of recently freed enslaved people. A superbly crafted revisionist landmark, Buck and the Preacher subverts Hollywood conventions at every turn and reclaims the Western genre in the name of Black liberation. So I'm very much looking forward to this title from Criterion. It is from one of the great actors of our time, Sidney Poitier, just a transcendent actor. Harry Belafonte, an amazing actor. You have Ruby Dee in here. Very excited about this title. This is one that we're getting a new 4K digital restoration. So even though it's not in 4K, we're getting a 4K digital restoration. So I have very high expectations about the quality that this disc is going to present for us, especially, if you get a nice 4K digital restoration, probably, hopefully from the original camera negative. So you're going to get a really nice transfer and restoration, hopefully. And then if you have some good upscaling with a good 4K player and 4K TV, can have a really nice picture. So that's at least a hope, fingers crossed. So new interview with Mia Mask, she's the author of Black Rodeo. That's interesting. A history of the African American Western. So I'm very interested in reading about that, hearing about that. So behind the scenes footage with Poitier and Belafonte, some interviews from 1972 from them as well. New interview with Gina Belafonte, the daughter of Harry Belafonte. So that's very interesting. So very much looking forward to checking out Buck and the Preacher. Of course, I watched this little video clip here from it earlier today when this was announced. So I'm very excited about this release. Let us know in the comments what you think about this particular release. I'm going to stop sharing here and pop out and get some more comments. But that is the title that I am absolutely most excited about of this month's announcement. So let me know what you guys think. So let's go back and get some more comments, and then we'll check out the last title for this month of August. See, Darwin, the Daddy Longlegs cover is odd. Okay, yeah, it is a little odd. I must confess. I've seen both Frownland and Daddy Longlegs. Okay. Frownland is hard to get into. Okay, interesting. That Hotel du Nord announcement gave me a good reason to finally watch Children of Paradise, since that's been on my watch list for a while. Yeah, I have not seen either of those films, so definitely looking. It's going to make me kind of check out a review of it to see. I've seen that title for years in Barnes and Noble, and I've just never been drawn to it. And it could be a hidden treasure for me. Who knows? Could be a hidden discovery. So we shall see. For me, Hotel du Nord is the title that looks the most interesting to me. Maybe it's just the cover art that is really grabbing my attention. Yeah, it is a pretty cool cover. I really dig it. I really dig it. Fun fact, Josh Safdie made the Frownland Criterion cover. Yes, yes, someone else mentioned that earlier as well. That is funny. What does Siri mean? Siri is just a name they gave me when I got the job. It doesn't mean any one specific thing, but I like it. Okay. What would we do without Siri or Google Assistant? I mean, what would we do? We just couldn't make it, right? We couldn't do anything. So, let's see. Beatbox for me. Here's one I've been practicing: boots and cats and boots and cats, boots and cats and boots and cats and boots. I could do this all day. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, so some very interesting announcements for this month, and I am gonna now share my screen one last time and do this one last time, and then I will let you all go back to enjoying your wonderful Monday evenings. And we'll get into this very last one here that I find to be probably the most fascinating, one of the most fascinating titles I've seen in the last couple of months. And it's coming out on August the 30th. And I had never heard of it until today when it was announced. And it's called Fayaday. Fayaday. And this is a film from 2021, very new film. And from what I understand, it's a documentary film from Ethiopia from new director. This is her directorial debut. This is Jessica Bashir, and it says here a sublime work of personal vision. The debut featured by the Mexican Ethiopian filmmaker Jessica Bashir is a hypnotic documentary immersion in the world of Ethiopia's Oromo and Harari communities, places where one commodity, khat, a euphoria inducing plant once prized for its supposedly mystical properties, holds sway over the rituals and rhythms of everyday life. So there's this one commodity that holds sway over the rituals and rhythms of everyday life. And when I first read this and I first saw this premise, it gave me this Dune vibe. And I know that this is totally unrelated to Dune, but it makes me think about the planet Arrakis and the spice melange. And so when I think about this, I'm like, oh, that sounds very familiar, similar to Dune. But I know it's totally different universe, completely different, but that's just what it sort of harkened back in my mind. So it holds sway over the rituals and rhythms of everyday life, as if under the influence of the drug itself. Fayaday unfurls as intoxicating trance state cinema, capturing intimate moments in the existence of everyone from the harvesters of the crop to people lost in its narcotic haze to a desperate but determined younger generation searching for an escape from the region's political strife. So I'm very excited, folks, about this particular title from the Criterion Collection, mainly because this is the type of film that, for me, it sort of gives me a glimpse into another area of the world that I'm not familiar with. So this is, Ethiopia. There's this plant that they grow there called khat. I had never heard of that before, but I was on Wikipedia and sort of reading about it. And I'll actually go to that page in a second. But when you read about what khat is, this plant and its medicinal uses and its use as a drug, it's kind of interesting. And I had never heard of it before. And it's part of the premise of this film and how it plays a part in the lives of these people in this particular area of Ethiopia. So apparently, it's a plant that's indigenous to Ethiopia, grown there, raised in Ethiopia, and it very interesting premise. So this title is coming in at spy number 1141 in the Criterion Collection. It's from 2021 from this new director, her brand new film in the Criterion Collection, and it is being offered on DVD. So this is one of the titles that is getting a DVD offering along with the Blu-ray. So definitely keep that in mind. This is coming in with a new 4K digital master approved by the director. And this is getting a 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack on the Blu-ray. So that sounds great. And if you're getting a new 4K digital master of a film that was just shot within the last couple of years, hopefully that's going to be a pretty solid picture. And I really like, from what I'm seeing, this black and white photography of this film. This is shot in monochrome, shot in black and white. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing that visual style on this disc. So I really, really am excited about that. We're getting 3 short films by Bashir here. We're getting a trailer and an essay. So it's not packed with special features, but we are getting what appears to be a very solid disc from a technical standpoint, with that nice 4K digital master and that 5.1 surround sound. So definitely excited about that. This is one that I am definitely looking forward to checking out. This is probably going to be a title I will pick up on day one in August. It's coming out August the 30th, so I will probably plan to pick this up on August the 30th and put a review out on this channel in the early part of September. So that's the plan for now. We shall see. But let me know in the comments if you've seen this film and what you think about it. Of course, there's a little video clip here that is very fascinating. You have some pictures, here, from the film. Of course, this is the crop cot there. But yeah, it just gives you a glimpse into an area of the world that I'm not familiar with, and a dynamic that's taking place there that is something that'll be a learning experience for me. So definitely looking forward to checking that out. So let me stop sharing. Let me pop back in here and let's cover some more of these comments here. And let's see what we have here. See, Buck and the Preacher definitely looks like fun. And yes, there is a lot of Black Western films. A more recent one that comes to mind is The Harder They Fall. Okay, good to know. Though I won't lie, Westerns are a genre is one that's hard to impress me. So I wonder if this one can win me over. Yeah, I can definitely understand. I will say I am very much looking forward to. I'm going to decline that call. Hope y'all didn't hear that. I am very much looking forward to watching this. This is going in the player tonight. I have heard great things about this Western. I am really looking forward to checking this out. Let me know if you've seen this film. So I love a good Western. My mother loves Westerns too. And she's always on the Westerns channel watching those movies. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay. So Fayaday was close to getting nominated at this past Oscars in Best Documentary Feature. Okay, that's good to know. That, I mean, if it was close to being nominated, hopefully that's an indication that it's a pretty good movie. So I love the double exposure cover of Fayaday. This is my favorite cover of the month and the film I'm most interested in watching. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I mean, for me, it's Buck and the Preacher and Fayaday. Those are the two that are at the top of my list. In third place would be Hotel du Nord. And then the films that I'm definitely looking to wait on for November are going to be the Safdie film and the Bronstein film of Frownland and Daddy Longlegs. So see, same Maghreb. Yep. Criterion needs more documentaries. Well, we're getting one with Fayaday. Fayaday sounds rather interesting and illuminating. I adore when new films are shot in black and white. Yeah, me too. I love that stylistic choice. I love it when it's done well, and that looks very fascinating. Have you seen An Elephant Sitting Still? It's not uplifting to say the least, but it's beautifully shot. I have not seen that. I have to check that out sometime. That is one film I seriously would kill to see receive a Criterion physical release. What, Elephant Sitting Still? Okay, we shall see. Maybe perhaps one day. Feels like a small batch, something bigger like a box set soon. I would expect so. I would expect so. I think, I will say that my overall take on this month of releases is we're getting some films that I think are going to make some good discoveries for me. Like I said before, I've not seen any of these films. So there's definitely some titles in this batch for August that intrigue me, that I'm very much looking forward to checking out. Buck and the Preacher, the Fayaday, the Hotel du Nord. Those are films that I'm definitely intrigued to get into. I just wish that at least one of them was on 4K, but I'll take what we can get. I'm pretty excited about it. See. An Elephant Sitting Still is a great film. Don't mind the runtime at all. Okay. So it's a long runtime. Okay. Have you seen Roma? Which one? You mean the Federico Fellini film or the recent Netflix film? I've seen at least parts of both of them. So yeah, Roma is also in black and white and beautifully shot. Let's see. I wonder when they'll release the fourth season set from Eric Romer. I don't know. Hopefully so. It's another modern black and white. Yep. I guess you mean Roma, Netflix. Yeah. 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 Very fascinating. So yeah, so what do you guys think about August? Is August a thumbs up or a thumbs down? And to be fair, you may not want to compare it to the July announcements. The July announcements were one of the best announcements from Criterion in a long time. So it's probably unfair to compare, future months to that level because they just knocked it out of the park in July. Hit that like button. Thank you. Please do. Please do. I appreciate that. I don't think that Criterion is going to have a big flashy box set release this year. It seems their main focus is on 4K releases. Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. And if we do get a box set, it probably will be in November, but we shall see. I like that all these titles are basically new discoveries since that's how I got into Criterion Blu-rays in the first place. I'm right there with you, man. I am right there with you. Right from the very beginning, when I got my first Criterion edition, which I think was Blowout, all I saw was a picture of John Travolta sort of leaning back in that chair and all of these, all this audio equipment around. And, I had no idea what that film was about, what it was like. And I got it, popped it in the player, and loved it. And to this day, it is one of my favorite Criterion Collection editions. To this day, I love Blowout. So let's see. Same Ian. Oh, yeah, same Ian. I'll try to check out all the releases. They sound interesting. Awesome. Raging Bull, so excited. Yes. So in terms of what's coming out pretty soon here, obviously Double Indemnity in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be doing a review of that on this channel. It's going to land in the first few days in June. So look for that. I am super excited about that particular release that's coming out very soon. So very excited about that. And then Raging Bull as well. So very excited about Raging Bull coming out soon from Criterion. My apologies there. My son had a question for me, so he got back from the gym. So, hey there, how are you? Doing good, Adrian. How about yourself? So yeah, so some great titles coming out from Criterion. August makes another batch of exciting releases coming out, and it makes me excited for what they have in store for us in September, October, November, particularly, and then closing out the year in November. So it should be another great year from the Criterion Collection. But let us know in the comments section, which titles are you most excited about? Which titles do you plan to pick up in the month of August? And which titles are you going to wait on for the November sale or maybe a flash sale? And then which titles are you going to just wait on altogether until a much later purchase? Let us know that in the comments below. Thank you all for joining this evening. I really enjoyed this live stream. Hope you all enjoyed it and continue watching some great movies and look to talk to you all very soon. Have a great night and a great week. Talk to you soon. Peace.